Welcome back to the Lifetimes Podcast. I'm your host, Lloyd Phillips.
And I'm Leighton Rowan.
We're here back for another exciting, episode.
Super exciting.
Yeah, some of the most exciting, intense moments ever spent inside the podcast studio have taken place today.
I got the excitement sweats going right now.
Yeah, so many exciting places. This was cool the other day. I was in Pittsburgh, and I went out to this restaurant. Okay, so first of all, I haven't been to a Chinese restaurant in Pittsburgh yet. So I looked up best Chinese restaurants. So it gave me this list, and one of them was called the Chinatown Inn, which, by the way, does not sound like it's the most elaborate restaurant in Pittsburgh. And it was at the old Chinatown. There's the backstory. It's the only Chinese restaurant left in old Chinatown. It's the only one.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Like that Pittsburgh is known for is Chinese food?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure not.
Okay.
I'm sure it's not, because if it were, Chinatown would not. There's like one store left.
Okay.
And it was in the original location. It's been there since like 1920, something like that. So I was like, well, I'm going to go there. Well, that sounds pretty good. If it's open that long and it's the only thing left, it's got to be okay. And it is okay. But when I walk in, this lady, she's like, just one? And I'm like, yes. And so she sat me, and then I didn't see anybody for probably 10 minutes. And then she rolls up out of nowhere. I'm not really looking around. I'm just thinking, like, you're not that busy, so I thought. And then she just rolls up, and she's like, are you ready? I'm like, yes. And I wasn't going to just order appetizer. I needed to get it all in because, and she kind of yelled about it. So I just gave it all to her, and she asked me the same thing. She's like, large fried rice? Yes. Listen, I can't do the accent, and I was like, yes. And so she walked 2 steps, and then she come back to the table, and she said, large? Yes. And then she walked like 2 or 3 steps and turned around one more time. She's like, you say large? Yes, man. I think because I ordered an appetizer, egg drop, or soup. Gosh, I can't even talk. I ordered an appetizer, I ordered soup, and I ordered an entree. I think she probably just couldn't believe what was going on.
Yeah, she was confused on why you're ordering that much food for one person.
What are you doing? Well, I was gonna.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
What are you doing, guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened. And then she walked off. Well, I'll just fast forward. She was rude to the table behind us, rude to another one. One guy got up and he's like, yeah, let me just pay. And she's like, no, you no pay. Cause he was mad about it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm going to pay. Just let me pay.
Yeah.
Just let me, I'm not doing this. Just let me. And it was an argument, and she was mad about it, and he walks off. And then I hear her cussing the guy when she walks by my table, yelling to the bartender that's in the back of the restaurant, cussing about the guy that just walked out.
Oh my.
I'm assuming in Chinese. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the language.
You didn't get your Google Translate out real quick on your phone?
No, but she wasn't happy about it. Anyway, so that in its story, if you were like waiting for some excitement, none of that was exciting. Yeah. I don't even know why I told you 5 minutes of that just to get to this part. So when I walk up to pay, oh no, I know why I told you the story. This is why I told you the story. I'm sorry, everybody. I got a little sidetracked. There's a couple behind me, and I'm going to guess from just listening to their conversation, because they were in the booth right behind me, that it was probably their first date. Because the initial questions they were asking would not be something that if you've known each other for a while, you wouldn't be asking those same questions. So I'm assuming it's a first date. And then those small talk led to them talking about coffee. Now, the reason that it was annoying that they were talking about coffee is because I'm going to do it right here while I'm telling this story. She starts talking like, I only like dark roast coffee. He's like, I love medium roast coffee. She's like, the coffee I drink, I like to put these ingredients in it. A coffee I drink. What I'm trying to do, and I can't even do it justice, is I think in a one sentence, in a 10-word sentence, they use coffee 3 times.
Yeah.
Every time, you don't have to say coffee. Everybody knows the topic. I'm not even in your conversation. I'm a table in front of you. I know the topic of conversation. You don't have to say coffee. Every sentence is like, yeah, the coffee I drink, and the coffee I do, and the coffee. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's real annoying. Right? So then it ended after about 20 minutes of solid coffee talk. coffee talk. Remember? Saturday Night Live?
yeah.
Like solid coffee talk. I had enough of it. And I thought but they got real intense with the topic.
Mm-hmm.
It was 20 minutes of silence.
After that?
Oh yeah. They had nothing else to talk about. They got so excited talking about coffee. I don't know if anything else they had talked about previous. I don't think it was going to last. But here's why I knew it was going to last. They talked about coffee for 20 minutes, probably 15 minutes of silence. No exaggeration. And then they started talking about cats. They're back in the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, coffee and cats. It's a real strong relationship. These people
was it the same relationship that you spied on at the bar?
Look, these people are going to be real successful in their life. I'm going to guess. But right now, for anybody that's like, for anybody that's saying like, well, I like coffee and I like cats. Yeah, I know. I got to be honest. I like the taste of coffee, but I can only drink decaf because caffeinated coffee makes my heart flutter.
Oh yeah.
And I love coffee or the taste of it. I just literally can't drink it. And I'm like years into this. It's not like it just happened. And I like cats, but not like I don't want a cat in my house.
Yeah.
If you have a cat in your house, it's fine. I probably love your cat. If if you're my friend. Do I even have a friend that has a cat in their house? Let me think here. I don't know. I don't know if I have any friends that have cats in their house. Not off the top of my head, talking real fast. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if these are the only two topics of conversation, it's real solid.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee they're probably furries is what I'm doing. That's where I'm going with that. Oh, speaking of furries. So that was like on a Monday or Tuesday night. Wednesday, it's the every Wednesday go to Joe's Crab Shack. And there's this lady, and she was just standing there. She wasn't even seated. And she starts talking to the waitress, who's our waitress. We're just right there by this. Anyway, so she then injects herself into me and my buddy's conversation. And it was just a lady waiting on her daughter who was next door to get out of this gaming interview. They were like internship. They were looking for kids, and she had this 19-year-old daughter. Well, 19-year-old walks in, and when she walks in, I thought, oh, that's not who I expected, because now we'd had a conversation with this lady. She's a retired pediatrician, and I just thought her daughter was some kind of game designer or whatever. So, and she possibly could have been, but she walks in. And within 3 minutes, I discover, I don't know how the conversation got led that way, but somebody said something about nothing to do in Pittsburgh, and I said, oh, that's how it went. I'm like, that's not true. I was like, actually, the furry convention is coming to Pittsburgh this summer. Like, that's going to be a big deal. And the daughter stalled out and looked at me, and she's like, wait, she's 19. I think she had a nose ring, and her hair's dyed black. And she's like, wait. How do you know that? I'm like, which is actually probably a good question.
Yeah.
Like, why I know that? Oh, because the people where I work at, somebody told me like, oh, the furry convention's coming to town.
Yeah.
And they talk about it all the time. So I didn't go all in depth. I just said, yeah, of course, everybody's heard of it.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yep. She just said, that's weird you brought that up. I just came out to my mom 2 weeks ago that I'm a furry. And I said, what? You're just looking at this little short girl. I said, she's like, for people's mental picture, she's like emo type.
Yeah.
And I said, I was like, what? She's like, I just came out 2 weeks ago. My mom doesn't even understand it. I'm a husky. You're not.
You're not a husky.
No, no, you're not. You might wear 36 huskies, but you're not. But you're not a husky. I can guarantee that. So that's what she said. So that's my first time to meet a real life furry.
Real life one. Wow.
Oh yeah. She didn't look like a husky, but apparently she
identifies.
I guess. Yeah, that just happened this week. I totally. Why did I even tell that story? Because I didn't even finish the other story.
Yeah, we were talking about the mad Chinese restaurant waitress.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, anybody. Yeah, fast forward. I'm sitting at the counter. By the way, not at Joe's Crab Shack. Back to the Chinese restaurant. Yes. Sorry, I got a little carried away, people. And there were 15 photos. There were 15 photos of Agents of the Shield and just Marvel memorabilia, but they were all signed. And so I asked the waitress, not the mean one, it was a younger lady checking me out. I wouldn't have spoke if it was the older lady because I didn't like her already. I've ruled her out of my life.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, man, have these people, because I thought there were so many posters, I thought they possibly filmed that thing in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
So I said, I was like, did these people all come eat here? And she said, oh, yes. She's like, and it kept, there was a lot of photos. I'm going to try to say it right, but I think it's Ming Na Wen. Ming Na Wen. But she's been in a whole bunch of different films, animated films, TV shows, movies. And she's like, yes, her dad owns this restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
It's not enough to bring me back because that lady's mean, but
yeah.
So I thought that it was filmed there. That girl's dad owns the place.
That is cool.
Which means if that thing's been there since 1920, Ming Na Wen, I'm going to guess probably was a waitress at that place
probably,
at one point.
yeah.
And probably nicer than that old lady.
Yeah, what was the food okay?
Yeah, the food was okay. But you know, when you go to those, when it's not a chain, I mean, when something's a chain, you know it's going to taste like tastes the same all over.
Yes.
You go to a new restaurant, hot and sour soup's what I could not spit out earlier. I always order that no matter where I go. And yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty good. The chicken fried rice wasn't the flavor I was looking for, but it was okay. Like it was enough to where I would go back. I wasn't for something that was historic, and once I figured out what it was, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I don't know how it survived since 1920.
Yeah.
No. I mean, anyway, what was I don't know. It's talking about food.
Food and furries.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Those people talking about cats and coffee. You get a mental picture of what you think they look like, and we're not judging people. If you look like them, it's not my fault. But
it's your parents' fault.
I had an idea in my mind because I'm listening to this for 40 minutes before I get up and turn around, and I just like they gotta look like this, like they're furries or whatever. So I stood up. And I didn't stare at them. I just wanted to glance real fast just to see if I was accurate. I was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
They amazingly did not have their hair dyed, but all the rest of it was exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no hair dye. Hair dye this in the current world, when you dye your hair, I don't know why people want to dye their hair and then just leave it in there to where it fades out, where it just makes your hair look
fried,
dirty blonde and
dirty.
Whatever faded color.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you should just go full platinum like your cousin.
She only rolls full platinum. That's right. Thank you for bringing that up, Layton. Anyway, did you have anything exciting this week?
I think we got a Speakpipe.
Oh, shoot. 13 minutes in. So
every week we're like, hey, we're going to do the Speakpipe at the top of the show. So then, everybody can listen to it. And then we never do.
Yeah, because it would encourage you to go to Speakpipe.
Speakpipe.com/life and times.
Yeah, if we played it at the first, knowing everybody would hear it, and I forgot to push it. Let's just see what happens. This is audio it's the Queen. Is that?
Yeah, it's the Queen. So what happens with these is you can go to speakpipe.com/life and podcast, or no, /life and times. It's not a sponsor. You go on there, and it's on your phone, and all you have to do is push record, leave us a message. And then you can leave in your name, nickname, whatever you want to leave in. And then it sends to us. I proof them, obviously, so nothing inappropriate ends up on the show or something controversial. And then Lloyd hears it live for the first time.
All right, here we go. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Well, hello, Lloyd and Leighton. This is the Queen. Speaking of England, I was just informed that you boys were curious about the importance of the role of the monarchy. And I, as Elizabeth, have been called before, wanted to say it is very important and everybody loves us in England and abroad too. You should care. about us in America. My husband, Charles, or son, Charles, the king now. However, I am related to him. I am happy to be retired and would love. I might actually be dead. I forgot. I might be dead. But if I'm not dead, I'd love to come see Locust Grove. You see, I love groves of trees, like in the palace gardens. So please, let me know what airport to fly into to land in Locust Grove. Thank you.
Why do we entertain that?
Well, I just thought it would be cool to have the queen on the podcast.
The same person calls in every week, and what you guys don't know is it doesn't make the show because normally I, like whatever face I got. Like, okay, yeah. Well,
So
there's that.
are you going to answer a question? What airport can you fly in to get to Locust Grove?
The nearest airport to Locust Grove is in Pryor,
Okay.
Oklahoma. Yeah, a little tiny one there. I don't remember what it is. Here's what I remember about this. Growing up in Locust Grove, my dad worked in the industrial park in like Pryor, Oklahoma, and all I ever remember, I don't know how much truth there is to it. I think it took place either when I was alive or right before I was born. But there was this factory right beside where Dad's manufacturing plant was, and there was a plane crash, and they ran into this building. Now I'd have to fact check that. I don't know, but that's there's an airport there.
Oh, the plane ran into the building?
I think so.
I've never heard anything about
Hold
that.
up. Let's just take a brief time out here. Let's see if I can get this story.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah,
Hey, are you asleep?
yeah. What do you need?
I'm gonna need you to have a little more pep than that. I got a question. You're live on a podcast right now.
Oh, okay.
Is it true? I don't remember that there was a factory, and I have no idea what they make. There was a white building going towards Shodo, whatever direction that is, south, close to where you used to be. Was there a plane crash that crashed into that building?
Yeah,
That's
they hit the old Fabricat building.
okay. So that's real. I didn't make that up.
Yeah, they took off, and rumor was they were trying to take off with the wind. And about the time they touched down out there, they said it was a DEA sting operation. And
It was
so they
what?
ran out there in their black vehicles
Yeah.
at the airport, and instead of them landing, they took right on off the opposite way they should, and they couldn't get up and banked into the building.
How long ago was that? Was I born, or was that before I was born?
No, you were born. It was probably in the late 80s.
It was. I mean, I'm not arguing. I'm asking you. It was in the late '80s. I would have remembered that.
Yeah.
Was it on the news?
Yeah.
You
They
said it
didn't
was
say what they,
a sting
they didn't
operation?
say what happened, but that's what they were saying.
What kind of sting operation?
The DEA was going to make a drug bust. Flying in drugs to the airport.
Wait, so it wasn't just like regular people. It was like runners.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
Anyway, that was a rumor. Whether it was or not, I have no idea. One of them was still sitting in a seat out in the middle of the highway,
oh.
69 highway.
Well, it's because he didn't want to
Burst
unbuckle.
in
He
a
didn't want to get a
plane.
seatbelt ticket.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I was just checking. Well, we'll get off here. I appreciate you adding the input there.
Okay. Have a blessed day.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you, bye.
Yeah, say you love your dad.
Yeah, is that Ming Na Wen? Was Ming Na Wen there doing the bus? Marvel? Yeah. I wonder how long that guy sat in the seat.
In the seat.
Yeah. He's like, you're not getting me for a seatbelt ticket.
I was buckled up before I was about to run those drugs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He said it was like an 89. I mean, he would know. His office was right there, but I knew that happened, but I mean, I thought I was real little when I heard that story.
Well, how old would you have been in the late 80s?
I don't 9 or 10.
Oh, okay. So old enough to definitely remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen that building from those times.
Yeah.
And I don't recall ever there being a hole in the side of it.
Well, maybe he's a little foggy. He just woke up from a nap.
So yeah, mate.
You interrupted his nap, so maybe he was a little foggy.
Yeah, he sounded rough, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad. Hey, it's 5 o'clock. It's not time yet. Right now, I'm smoking. Oh, I mean, everybody knows. Like, I don't do the show the morning it comes out, so obviously it's Sunday, even though it's Monday when you hear it. But I'm smoking meats right now.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of it. I got a Traeger. That's what I'm smoking meats on. And I know some people like to haul out those big pits and all that, which I've said on the show probably 10 times. But my friend Cody, it's just a reminder. Fantasy football draft, we had this smoking meats competition, and this guy named Leon, he used a Traeger, and Cody got out there like at 4 a.m, picking out the right woods and creating the right smoke. And then we had this the taste test, and Cody's lost.
Cody lost to a Traeger?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When that Traeger hits that super smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when it really just...
Yeah, they're not ready for that.
Yeah.
That'll shut down most barbecue restaurants. At least it did Cody's. He had a barbecue stand when that happened. He shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole deal went under after
Yeah, I'd
that.
be embarrassed too.
They said smoking guns got beat by a Traeger. Yeah, that's the thing that'll happen. I'm going to send Ming Na Wen out there and see if
Oh, yeah.
if
Taste
that's
test it. You should send that waitress out there.
Yeah. I mean, that was... I don't like to walk. I don't know if it makes me lazy or... When I'm in Pittsburgh, when I'm downtown, I just like to Uber. I don't want to walk anywhere.
You don't like walking here.
I mean, well, technically here, we're just like in a housing addition, so I don't want to do that anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But where I live, so let's just say, where I live, people have, like, there's a bunch of housing additions because we live in like a school district, basically. It's not really a town.
Yeah.
There's no post office.
Nope.
So I wish and maybe you can't, you'd have a bunch of kids or whatever, but I wish they had legalized golf carts.
Oh, man.
Even if you just like a city thing.
Yeah.
And so still, if you still make it legal, because that would eliminate, the 8-year-olds driving it around the thing. But you know how much cooler this place would be to live if the city issued golf cart permits?
Yes. Well, and to give even more context to it, we live in a neighborhood, and the only things that we have in this town are half a mile away. So you wouldn't even be driving. There's no main road to even drive on. You know what I mean? Everything is on this side, and it's just around the corner.
Well, for us, but there is the other side of the highway.
That's true.
But so I guess officially you'd have to drive across the highway, but there's a stoplight.
Yes.
So it's not like you're trying to make it.
No.
So yeah, I wish they would do that. That'd be awesome.
That'd be so cool.
I mean, the state already, we live in Oklahoma, the state already legalized the, like those side-by-sides.
Yeah.
But honestly, even though I thought that would be a bigger thing, and I don't know if it's like for insurance purposes, but I've seen like four or five.
I mean, the amount of times I get stuck behind a tractor that goes 3 miles an hour trying to cross that intersection, I mean, there's no way that's safer than a golf cart.
No, and you know why? Because speaking of tractors, so where I grew up, there's a lot of Amish people. You might call it Amish. It's fine. There's a lot of Amish people out there. Maybe I heard it on a movie.
Yeah.
But driving behind them, I don't know how it's safe because the plexiglass they use to look out of looks like it's 23 years old and it's scratched. I don't know how they can see out of the plexiglass. Like, it's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's not clean.
No.
Yeah, so it's got to be safer to have a golf cart. Maybe this is the push to legalize golf carts. I don't. There's a couple places. Port A, Texas. You ever been there? Port Aransas? Yeah, that golf carts are legal there. On the streets, like just.
I mean, in Newport, Rhode Island, because it's a real touristy town and it's a smaller town and it's kind of like off the coast. It's not golf carts. I guess they're kind of like more side by sides and slingshots, but then they also have like scooters that
I want a slingshot.
Those are so cool.
I want a slingshot. You know what? I was going to buy one about. There was a whole podcast about it. I mean, it was a while ago, so I'll just rehash it. But in case anybody's new listening, I wanted to buy this slingshot, and I was dead serious. I was going to make a YouTube channel out of it because I was going to roll it rain or shine. I don't know if it was 30 or 100, and I was going to record myself the whole time. And it probably would have. Honestly, I feel like it would have gained some traction because had I been out there and it was like 110, I would have just been mad at life. I've been sweating, and I was just going to do it. That was what I was going to do. And the only reason I did it, it would have worked for me, but I also want to take road trips with it.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be awesome. The passenger side, where your legs would go, it's shorter than the driver's side.
Oh.
So you can't extend your legs.
Yeah.
At all.
That would suck.
No, if you were dating a little person, she would be fine.
Yeah.
If you're dating a regular sized person, there's no way you could never stretch your legs out.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do that.
No, and I wanted it for like ride from here to California.
Yeah.
So I just that wouldn't have worked.
No.
Been fine for me to put my bags down there. That's only if I'm by myself.
Yeah.
But if I was going to put my wife in there or my friends, I wouldn't have wanted to ride from here to 40 miles.
Yeah.
So that was actually the reason that I got discouraged with the whole thing. That would have been awesome.
So how about you tell the people why you think that, what would, in a scenario that you and LeBron James would get in a fight, what would happen?
So, well, let's just, because that came out of nowhere, unlike my transition about King Chuck last week.
Yeah.
Taking a shower, whatever I said. So the other night, Leighton's out there. Leighton's like, hey, man, I got something to show you. And he got this new outdoor furniture, and he was telling me because he's been talking about it a while, and it was out there. He's like, but we got to hang the TV. That in itself was an event. I don't think he's plugged the holes in the wall, but we put a couple in there trying to find these studs so we could hang the TV. Well, we did. So we set out back, and we were watching the basketball game. And then there was something where this past week, LeBron James said, I don't flop, or we don't flop. My team doesn't. I played in the league 20 years. None of my teams have ever been floppers, which, by the way, he's the biggest flopper of all time, by far.
Allegedly.
Yeah, well, listen, we all know Leighton gets all passionate about basketball and these people, and he's not really fighting with me about it because there are so many videos of somebody waving their hands in front of his face.
He gets poked in the eye sometimes.
6 inches away, and he throws his whole head backwards and lays there.
It's strategic.
So here's how it goes. We're watching this play. It's not. I don't know the exact build-up. No, doesn't matter. I don't know the quarter. But LeBron James goes up for a layup. He did actually get hit that time in the face. But either way, he laid on the ground and he flopped around for about a couple of minutes. So as he's doing that, nobody ever actually knows if he's hurt because he does that even if nobody actually touches him. Go back and look at YouTube videos where nobody touched him, and he'll flop on the ground, and he'll turn around, and he'll roll around and kick his legs.
Yeah.
It's if you've already sold the foul, they already called the foul.
They've already blown the whistle.
Why do you continue to roll around for a minute and a half? Like you have accomplished your goal. The point is, he's like laying around, and it's like the little boy that cried wolf. And I tell Leighton, I'm like, people wouldn't know if he's. Oh, by the way, in that minute and a half while he's laying on the ground, not one Lakers trainer ran over to him.
No.
That in itself tells me, like, even the trainers, well, if he lays there 4 minutes, then we know it's legitimate.
Even further, even the teammates, they were just kind of standing there just looking at him like,
yeah, because
are you good or are you not?
And that's the truth. Because they all know, like, oh, that's what LeBron does. He'll lay there for a minute.
Yeah.
So all that's the backstory. And then I was watching that in disgust, and then I tell Leighton, I'm like, I don't know if I started with, you know what's sad, but possibly is what I said. I'm like, you know what's sad? He's like, what? I'm like, LeBron James could beat me up in 5 or 6 seconds. Like, no doubts. He would annihilate me in probably 5 seconds. But if I punch him one time in the face, it's over. Just one time.
Just one time.
Even if it didn't knock him out, he's going to roll over and flop on the ground for like a minute and a half. Probably 4 minutes if you actually get it. Yeah, so.
And then you won the fight.
Yeah, so there's a shot I could beat up LeBron James, is what I guess what I'm saying. Yeah, he's 6'8", about 260. There's a shot I could get him. I just got to get him first.
And just one swipe across the nose, and he's
Yeah, I don't even got to hit him hard.
yeah, just a swipe.
If I could just swipe at his cheek, get him with 2 fingers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people would think I was Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, yeah.
Kung Fu Panda. If I just like hit him with 1 finger and his whole head snaps back and he
And he falls on the ground face down like this.
he flies backwards, then rolls over and does
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're like, did he just skadoosh LeBron James? So, yeah, I mean, the guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unbelievably great.
yeah. You're right. He is the best flopper of all time, hands down. Because we all know Michael Jordan's the greatest player ever. Even though what's his face beside me is acting like it's not true. But one thing that nobody's actually arguing, he's the greatest flopper of all time.
I could argue that.
Oh, who's a bigger one?
Manu Ginobili.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. What's that guy's name? LeBron played with him in Cleveland. He was the center with the Roman noodle hair.
Lopez?
No. Virgil.
Roman noodle?
Yeah.
Ramen noodle?
Yeah, that's what my grandpa calls it. Roman noodle hair.
Okay.
Anyways, LeBron flops. Who cares? Get over it.
Anyway, well, all right. Well, I guess we'll get off here. Is that a thing we're doing?
Shout out to our wives. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh,
to
yeah.
our wives.
Happy Mother's Day yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
And by the way, if we're just doing random shout outs here.
Yeah.
I got a Howie's Hideout shirt on.
What is that?
Oh, it's the finest little bar and restaurant this side of the Mississippi, located right outside of Beaumont, Texas, there in Sour Lake, Texas.
Wow.
Oh, right out there. It's a fine place there. Real family environment.
It's a nice quality shirt.
Oh yeah. Real family environment. Great food, great drinks. Everybody, check it out. Howie's Hideout.
Did you get me one?
Sour Lake, Texas. Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
in the mail.
It's in the mail.
It's in the mail.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame and love everybody and have a good week.